Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining us today. It's my pleasure to be here with our Chief Executive Officer, Frank Bisignano. I'm often asked by clients about Frank personally. Who is he? What's he all about? What's the strategy for Fiserv, and how do credit unions fit into that strategy? So we're here today with Frank to answer those questions and more. So Frank, thanks for being here. I appreciate this. It's a real honor.
Happy to be here.
Well, I appreciate it. Let's learn a little about you personally first. I know you grew up in Brooklyn, in a small community. Tell me about growing up in that small community and how that shaped you as a person and as a business leader.
Well, Brooklyn is, when I was growing up there, was maybe the fourth largest city in America, even though it was a borough as part of New York City. But we never thought of it that way because we lived in a community, in a neighborhood. I was blessed to be in a neighborhood where everybody cared about everybody, and it was people helping people. You went out on the street, and everybody was a community member. I was also blessed to be in a situation where my mom and dad, only had one thing they cared about: their kids doing well. And the whole objective of going to work, my dad spending 45 years in the U.S. government, ultimately, a customs agent and a DEA agent. He was an orphan, and all he wanted was for, his kids to do better. It was a community. It was a neighborhood. I learned about financial institutions because they were around the corner. And I can remember, what it meant to have credit unions in Brooklyn. I think if you look at New York Methodist, I was growing up when its inception occurred.
Right.
And so that was a very, very, very good sense of community, good sense of membership, sense of belonging, and a sense of people helping people.
Oh, that's great. And I know you've talked about financial services, the financial sector. As far as I know, I think your whole career has been in the financial services industry, one seat or another. How has that long-term view of the sector shaped your ability to be helpful to our credit union clients?
Well, when you're serving clients, right? And I always viewed financial institutions as platforms to do good. But I think it starts with recognizing, going back to the 80s, when I first started in financial services, that it's people's money, the most important thing. Obviously your health is usually important, but I learned very quickly that, financial services and handling people's transactions are all so darn important because they are life and death matters at that moment in time. So I think it really, no matter how large a company we have, no matter how many clients we serve, I think about the individual end member who we're serving. We're serving them, and if we don't deliver, it makes it very hard for our credit unions to deliver for their members. Started very, very young answering client inquiries in a financial services firm and realizing how important it was if something needed to get done, that had to get done then and now. It's people's money.
Yeah, and I think you've certainly brought that to Fiserv as well. And I think you alluded to Fiserv being a big company. And often clients will say to me, "Hey, Fiserv that's a big company. There's a lot of facets to the business," which is true. But fundamentally, what they're asking is, how important are credit unions to Fiserv? How would you respond to that?
Well, I did say, ultimately, it's a big company. It's a Fortune 200 company. It's one of the top 200 companies in the S&P 500. But I've spent my career in pretty large institutions. But they're always easy to navigate if you keep the end client in mind. If everybody's lined up and we have a mantra, client first, and that client first doesn't mean the credit union, it also means, yes, it does, but it also means their client. The
member.
Their members. And so to me, that's the job.
Yeah.
That's the job. As a matter of fact, our job should be helping our credit unions grow their members and be able to do more for their members. It's a fun mandate. And if we do it really, really well, the end member will have better services, and so will our credit union partners.
Yeah, no, agreed, absolutely agreed. I think that's spoken wisely. And you're talking about a journey, and often I'm asked about the journey of Fiserv and where you want to take the business, the strategy of Fiserv, and then how credit unions fit into that. What's your view of that?
Well, my view, first of all, is we're a community-based organization, and remember, we serve in my vernacular in America every zip code. There's not a zip code where we don't have a client, whether it's a credit union, their end client, whether it's our Star debit network expanded through the country, whether it's the millions of small businesses we serve on corners across, and the number of cards we have in people's pockets, because we have the largest retail private label business, we have the largest merchant acquiring business, and all of that can sound daunting. We're the number 3 competitor after Visa and MasterCard in the debit business. We're the largest bill pay player in the country, and I could go on and on. But, ultimately, we're serving neighborhoods. Ultimately, we're serving members. And I think that, when you get to the vision of the company, is to continue to bring more product, more digital focus, the ability for members to operate more easily and have as many options as the biggest financial institutions. So our job is to bring that to the members, and you could see it in things that will roll out like Card Hub and OnDot into mobility and bring that even further. It's how do we acquire things to help our clients grow their business? And that's the vision. It's about ultimately delighting in a digital world our clients.
No, that's great. And I think you impress upon us that all the time when we talk as a leadership team. And let's cueing on the term digital, because you were talking about bringing digital to our clients. In your history in the sector, you've probably seen a lot of trends come and go, and some are more impactful than others over time. What do you think are the biggest trends or issues facing credit unions?
Well, I think the biggest set of issues is delivering capability to their members that cause their members to be able to have a better financial life and better capability, so they understand how well they're taken care of by their credit union. And those members are so darn important. So to me, we have a responsibility, and I've talked about elevating credit unions in the company, and I want credit union advisory groups, and I want to spend more time, because it's about how do we help them grow their members. And that's the job, growing members. And our job is providing capability to grow members and giving a good experience. But I think, we're completely committed. You and I are completely committed to this journey. And I'm pretty fired up about it.
Yeah, you are fired up. I will say this for sure. You are fired up. We spent a lot of time talking about it. Let's talk about one trend in particular, which is open banking. I think we talk a lot about open banking as a leadership team. It's in the trade journals, it's in the news. You probably talk to 5 different people, get 6 different opinions about what that is. What's your view on how big of a deal is that for credit unions?
I think for our credit unions and their members, we have lots of solutions and capability. But we want to have an open environment. We want to have APIs. We want to have the ability to do other things. Right? So if somebody wants to have crypto as a currency to operate and do something differently, We want to be able to afford that. And we want to allow them to be able to get API access if they actually, for some reason, want to partner with somebody else, yes. But also, you look at an acquisition like Finxact, it's designed to open up new opportunity. If you want to just have digital members, right? We can accommodate that. If you want to have crypto as a currency, if you want to have other embedded finance products, our job is to open up. We have waterfront property, I believe, and our job is to open that waterfront property up and be an open architecture. And if our clients need other options, to be there to support them in an API-based methodology while trying to bring every capability to the members that's humanly possible.
No.
I think it's an exciting time. I think what it really means is optionality, and that we're not going to run closed environments. We're going to run open environments, and we want them to be able to do everything they can.
Right. I think that waterfront property is a good analogy because there are so many choices that are available out in the market. And I think with the rise of fintech, obviously the rise of fintech is a big trend. When I talk to clients, some view it as a foe, some view it as a friend, some in between. What's your view on the rise of fintech, and what's our role in addressing either the threat or the opportunity?
Well, when we put these two companies together, we declared it was going to be the greatest fintech on the planet. So I guess the rise of fintech is us supporting our clients more, right? I don't see anything as a foe unless you're trying to hurt our clients. That's a foe. I believe we have so much capability. Now, we can always do a better job in the client's office. Even describing the capability and making it easier to access the capability. But the reason why I talk about, waterfront property is a vision, hopefully, for our clients that it's open, it's available. We're open-minded. We want to help them get their members to the place their members want to be with their financial life. And to me, we should treat everything, unless they're trying to directly hurt our client, as an opportunity to help our clients grow.
No, that's great. It's about enabling our clients and then ultimately enabling their members.
100%.
Yeah, no, I like that. Last 2 years have been strange. Pandemic, in lockdown, out of lockdown, back in lockdown, out of lockdown. But yet you're on the phone every day with clients. You're out visiting clients every day. What have you learned about those leaders over the last couple of years?
Well, I'm always reminding our company, people are open for business, right? And whether we could go back to Brooklyn, whether it's the small pizzeria in Brooklyn or a credit union on the West Coast that is in all the time. Ultimately, there's a lot of technology, and people love to see people, right? And by the way, a lot of our clients transact in a physical nature. So, I think it's about balance. Some work can be done, not together. But the best results we get is when we visit a client, we help them with their client. We recognize that that client may be in front of one of our clients, a member in front of a credit union person, right? And that member needing something and us having to be available. I think, our job is to always be available for our clients.
No, I like that a lot. Well, thank you. Thank you, Frank. Thanks
Happy
for doing
to be
this with
here,
us.
man.
It was really nice to finally be able to do this together. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
And thank you all for joining. I really appreciate you being here. And I hope that for all those watching, you got a lot out of the conversation. And so thank you for spending your time. And most importantly, thank you for your partnership and thank you for being a valued client.